Although some were forced to go to Europe, there were others who simply couldn't wait. Young Samuel was one of these.
Everywhere in the villages the talk is of war. The young men of my tribe speak about nothing else. Chief Botlani will lead them, it is said. I dream of my grandfather, a bold warrior, a fearless man of war, and I want to be like him. I want to see distant worlds and do great deeds. I thirst for excitement, but my parents, they say, no, you cannot go away. On you rests the future of our family. Oh, Mama, she weeps, and Utata rages, and I see the recruiting men come from the towns, and they write down my friends' names, and they say, you must prepare. You have to go over the water. But not me. I, Samuel, must herd the cattle instead. Here we fight only with sticks and assegai. I want to learn the ways of the new world. I shall go to my grandfather. My grandfather will understand. He will talk to my parents.
And Samuel's grandfather listened to his appeal and decreed that he should go to war and go proudly for his family, his village, and for Africa. After that, things began to happen very quickly.
I have examined the recruit named Samuel and find that he does not present any good cause for rejection. He has passed the carrying test to carry 100 pounds for 100 yards. He's free from deformity, can see to work without glasses, and can masticate ordinary food. I consider him fit for the South African Native Labour Corps.
I am so proud to take off the red blanket I've always worn, to put on the uniform of a soldier. But the material is scratchy, and the boots, how they pinch. I've never had shoes on my feet before. My friends will be so jealous.
Within a day or two, Samuel said farewell to his heartbroken parents and was on his way to Cape Town, provided by the military authorities with a pound of cooked meat, 2 pounds of bread, and a pint of coffee for the journey. He had never been on a train before, let alone an ocean-going ship.
How very strange it is for me to be here in the middle of the vast seas, with no land visible whichever way I look. I sometimes think we might fall off the edge of the world. Most amazing, a wondrous sight is the sun going down, right into the sea every evening. I always thought the sun lived behind the hills of my homeland. No one will believe me when I tell them it comes from the sea. And no one will believe me when I speak about the dolphins. It is like something out of a dream. "3 weeks at sea, and I like it less and less, this voyage. Although the ship is a big ship, it is tossed about like a piece of straw on the water. Sometimes the water is like big hills that want to fall on top of us. When I see these big hills of water, my senses are upset. But God protects me from all this except that I vomit. 34 days at sea and our first sight of England. Not really a sight because I see only grey fog and mist-laden skies. I wrap my greatcoat tight about me, glad for its warmth. We are stopping at a place called Plymouth, and then tomorrow we are off to France, to the war at last. I hear there is a danger of attack from German U-boats. Whatever next? Boats that sail under the waters. But we are guarded as we go by a British ship armed with guns, so we shall be safe.
On the afternoon of the 20th of February 1917, the SS Mendi set sail to cross the English Channel, escorted by the British destroyer HMS Brisk. By 6 o'clock, it was already dark, and by midnight, the fog was all enveloping. Just before 5 a.m. the next morning, 10 miles south of the Isle of Wight, as the Mendi inched its way through the fog, another Allied steamship, the SS Darrow, travelling full speed despite the appalling weather conditions, struck her, slicing into the heart of her to a depth of 20 feet. Many died where they lay, smashed by the bow of the SS Darrow. Many could not escape the blackness below decks, drowned in the freezing waters that rushed into the huge gash in the ship's side. Samuel was flung to the deck by the force of the collision. All the breath knocked out of his body.
What is it? What has happened? Everyone is running by me. They will trample on me if I don't stand. Then I hear the voice of Reverend Joba calling out to us.
Be calm and quiet, my countrymen. For what is taking place is exactly what you came to do. You are going to die. But that is what you came to do. I, Xhosa, say you are all my brothers. Zulus, Swazis, Pondos, Basutus. We die like brothers. We are the sons of Africa. Raise your war cries, brothers. For though they made us leave our assegais, our voices are left with our bodies. Let us die like brothers.
Below me there is a sea of darkness. Men plunging into the rough cold water. Singing, praying and crying. What shall I do? I can't swim. I have no choice but to jump. God protect me. Cold. So very cold and tired. I hear my brothers calling me. Oh Samuel, child of my mother, are you dead that you do not hear my voice? I try to, but I cannot answer. I am too cold. Too cold.
Of the 802 black troops on the SS Mendi when it went down, only 195 survived. Amongst the 607 dead were prominent figures like the Pondoland chief, Henry Potleni, and the Reverend Joba, but also many hundreds who were important only to their families, like young Samuel. For Samuel, there was to be no war, no fine deed serving for the glory of the British King and for Africa, no quick death in the heat of battle, simply a lingering, miserable end in the icy waters of the English Channel, so very far away from the warmth of his home.